We know that we can deliver a result, a 25% improvement at minimum.
And my first interview with Greg and with John was, this is great, it sounds like a unicorn.
With marketing mix, you get your 200-page PowerPoint deck, and they're gone for another year. What we do, because we're software and because we are always on, Keen helps to make marketing accountable in financial terms.
You need a way of interacting, creating alternatives. You need a way of being able to optimize your investment around those alternatives depending on what you want to do. You need a way of being able to explain this, understand the risks associated with it. I mean, there's a whole bunch of things that we do at Keen that weren't present in the market and still aren't really, other than our system.
What the greatest gap has been in my 20+ year career in marketing is to be able to connect the data that's available and marketing decisions that are made across tactics and time to the financial outcomes, both in a short-term and a long-term basis.
You're constantly making a decision about what's going to happen in the future, not about what's happened in the past.
The main problems that Keen solves for, first and foremost, is quantifying every single marketing dollar that goes into every single channel, right? So you may have an attribution study that really just focuses on the digital tactics. You may have a lift study that focuses on impact of a specific channel like connected TV or linear TV. In the end, they all have interaction effects. So we have to put all of the tactics in across all of the marketing continuum, up and down the funnel, to be able to understand how they all interact and how they're all contributing to that financial outcome, sales and profit, both short-term and long-term.
One of the things that I've found with clients is that we will show optimized results, and sometimes they're actually hard to believe, which I can understand because oftentimes we're showing really significant gains to contribution coming from marketing, really significant gains to the overall revenue of the business. And while part of that is just education on how the external environment impacts sales. So if your distribution for your product is taking off, we would expect that would continue, or you as the client can tell us, actually, we think it's going to taper off.
I was a consumer of old-fashioned consultative marketing mix, and I'm very familiar with how things are done. And honestly, there's been very little evolution in the past 20 years around what they do and why. It's not. They may say they have software, but they don't. They may say they do optimization, but they really don't. You're not always buying TV upfronts a year in advance. You're now having to react to market conditions as they emerge. So that now adds even more complexity around, okay, how do I drive brick and mortar versus e-com? And now retailers are taking advantage of that trend through their own media networks, which adds more tactics that need to be decided upon relative to all the other marketing tactics.
The one thing we always wanted as brand managers or ad agencies is, how do we quantify marketing? It was always like, we have to do marketing, but we can't quantify it. And if you are able to quantify it and then take it one step further and tell me how to advertise better, then I'm all in. And we actually could do that.
I can tell you right now, the budgets aren't getting bigger. In fact, they're getting smaller. So how do you then take all this channel complexity, all the fragmentation that's happening, the shorter decision cycles, and make those decisions without software? It's impossible.